it's Lorna from Maritime UK, and this morning I'm joined by Shaun. Hi Shaun, can you tell us your full name, who you work for and what your job title is, please?
Yeah, good morning. So my name's Shaun Samways. I work for QinetiQ and I'm the team lead for maritime engineering.
Fantastic. Can I ask you what drew you to the maritime sector in the beginning?
Well, yeah, I've always lived by the sea. I've always been around boats, and my father was in the Navy, so I always enjoyed going on board the ships he served in, and always thought I might join the Navy actually, but I didn't. But I suppose moving into the maritime world was inevitable, really.
Yeah, it's in your blood.
Yeah.
So what was your entry point? What was your first job?
So I knew I didn't want to go to university. I'm much more practical, hands-on kind of guy. And so I applied for an apprenticeship with the Ministry of Defence, sat the exam along with 300 other guys and gals, and was successful, and was taken on as a fitter and turner apprentice, which was a 4-year apprenticeship at one of the research establishments down here in Gosport. And then progressed through college. Having just left school, I wasn't particularly impressed that I was sent straight to college, I have to say. But then it became more apparent that the qualifications and the courses I was being sent on were much more relevant to the job, so I could see it made more sense, and so I was able to get on with it with a happier heart.
I didn't know that people had to do exams to get onto an apprenticeship. That was an entry criteria. That's interesting. So what's been the high point of your career?
I think really it's just where I've ended up compared to where I started. So I ended up going to do a university course, but it was a part-time course. So having got all the practical experience out of the way, I was able to go and as part of one of my projects do a degree. And I think getting that degree, at the time I maybe didn't sort of think it was going to be such a big deal. I actually was really, really proud to get it. That's enabled me to go on and become chartered engineer. So, I've progressed to the chartership through a slightly different path than maybe a graduate would. I think that was kind of a highlight for me. I didn't think I'd ever get that far. So, yeah.
And of course, there are degree apprenticeships now as well. It's a fairly new thing, but it's obviously not a new thing. It was part of your career journey anyway, although not part of your apprenticeship.
No, that's something, that's a positive. In fact, we're looking at level 6 apprentices now. I think my experiences certainly demonstrate that you get a much more rounded engineer out of that sort of apprenticeship with the right person with the right motivation. Definitely, I think it's a positive step.
Brilliant. So is there Yeah, absolutely. Is there a single person that's been the most influential or important person in your journey?
I can't really put us onto a single person. Obviously, my father and my family, but my father was the Navy link. But if we're talking about at work, I would say there's my apprentice master, Cyril Charlton. I will name names. He was great. He basically changed us from school children into craftsmen. Any number of us actually. And then there's his boss called Murray Lang. He was a stern man, but very supportive, and drove us on to achieve the best we could at college. And lastly was, well, not lastly, as many, but a guy called Brian Gosby, who was my careers officer. We had careers officers then, and he recognised the strengths and weaknesses in the career and the skill set, if you like, and moved us around the organisation accordingly. So I've ended up where I am because of Brian's persistence in getting me into the correct place.
Perfect. And just finally, what advice would you give your 16-year-old self now, if you could?
I think stick with it. Get your basics out the way. If you get your basics out the way, you won't believe where you'll end up.